Have you ever felt afraid? Afraid of failing? Afraid of trying? Or perhaps afraid of facing the unknown? Fear is something that everyone feels, without exception. It does not choose whom it will settle upon. It lives within us, like a soft whisper that speaks loudly, saying, "You're not good enough," or "You will surely fail." Fear is invisible, but its impact is so real. It halts your steps, holds you back, and makes you doubt your own abilities. But have you ever thought that fear is the biggest barrier between you and your dreams? Fear is like a shadow that's always there, whispering doubts with every step you want to take. When you want to try something new, fear shows up and says, "Don't. It's too hard." When you want to go further, it comes back and says, "What will people say if you fail?" But here's what you need to understand. Fear is just an illusion. It's not real. It's a story created by your mind to protect you from risk. But ironically, it's also what limits your potential. Have you ever noticed that no success is achieved without taking risks? That there is no courage without the presence of fear? Fear is part of your journey toward your dreams. It is a reminder that you are striving for something meaningful. Without fear, you wouldn't realize just how strong you truly are. So, don't see fear as your enemy. See it as a motivator. It's proof that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and heading toward greater growth. Imagine if every great figure in history surrendered to their fears. What would the world look like today? If Nelson Mandela had been too afraid to fight for freedom, would South Africa have been freed from apartheid? If Thomas Edison had given up after thousands of failures in creating the light bulb, would we be enjoying bright light at night like we do now? These great people were not extraordinary because they felt no fear. They were extraordinary because they chose to move forward despite their fear. They transformed fear into courage, and that courage led them to success. Now, ask yourself, what are you afraid of today? Is it a new job that feels challenging? A big dream that seems out of reach? Or perhaps criticism from the people around you? Know this: your fear will only have power if you give it power. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action despite your fear. When you start taking steps, you'll realize that the fear that has been haunting you is not as bad as you imagined. When you step out of your comfort zone, something extraordinary happens. The world that once seemed too big suddenly feels smaller. Opportunities that once seemed impossible become more real. And the version of you who once doubted your abilities begins to transform into someone confident. Every small step you take is a victory over your fear. No step is too small. No success is too simple. Every step is proof that you are stronger than your fear. Learn from those who have succeeded. Look at those who have achieved greatness. They are people who were once afraid, just like you. They once doubted themselves, just like you. But they decided not to give up. They chose to keep moving forward. They understood that their future wouldn't change if they stayed in the same place. Fear didn't stop them. Instead, it became the reason they fought harder. So, what's stopping you today? Is it fear of failure? Fear of criticism? Or maybe fear that you're not good enough? Whatever it is, know that the only way to overcome fear is to face it. Fear won't disappear on its own, but each time you take a step, you'll realize that fear grows smaller. Build your future, starting today. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to wait until your fear completely vanishes. The first step may feel heavy, but every step after will feel lighter. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize how far you've come. You'll smile and say to yourself, I made it through all of this. Remember, failure is not the end of everything. Failure is your greatest teacher. Every time you fall, you learn something new. Every time you make a mistake, you grow. And every time you rise, you become stronger. Don't be afraid to fail, because failure is part of the journey to success. Today, make a choice. Choose to move forward, even if you're scared. Choose to try, even if you're uncertain. Choose to believe in yourself, even if others doubt you. Your future is not determined by your fears. Your future is determined by your courage to keep moving. Fear will only control you if you let it. Don't let it stop you. Let it serve as a reminder that you're on the right path. Break through your fears. Build your future. The first step starts today. You are stronger than you think. And at the end of this journey, you will find the best version of yourself.